Welcome to the Real Joe Show. If you are struggling in real estate, you're not alone. There are many things that get in your way. And we're going to be talking with Katie Clancy, team leader, Rainmaker and National Speaker, about her 10 things that get in your way and how to beat them and succeed and do well. So I'm going to bring in Katie Clancy from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and she's going to share some great ideas. So stay with us.
Hey, what's up, Joe? It's so good to be here. All right, I'm just getting up comments so I can see if anybody has anything to say. So so we are going into a time right now. So everybody says right now is nothing like '09. It's nothing like '09. And in a lot of ways, it is nothing. The market is nothing like '09. But the life of the real estate agent is a lot like '09. So in '09, we ran out of buyers for a variety of reasons. And right now we're running out of sellers for a variety of reasons that are completely different. And previous to both of those, previous to '09, there was a boom where tons of agents came into the market. And then we had this bust and a lot of agents didn't make it. I almost didn't make it.
It was not easy.
It was rough. And we're going into another rough time for real estate agents. I wrote a blog recently about this is the year that you should probably quit. People did not like it. And I know, just like, don't be bringing that negativity to my show. But people need to get real about what is happening right now. A lot of us in real estate live in la la land. Like we just think the next deal is right around the corner. Something else is going to come. It's great. Be positive, have a great attitude, have the faith and all that stuff. But you can pray to make the bus, but you still have to run. So this is going to show you how to run and not be a casualty of this decade's crisis in real estate.
Right. And I want to say quit or do this, right? There's either get out,
no in between, no,
or jump in and start running.
If you got in the market, if you got into this industry from 2020 on, I'm sorry, you've been lied to. It is not. It's over. The party is over, and it's getting real, and it's not getting bad. This isn't it's just a market. It's just a cycle. This is how it is, guys. If you want to stick with it, you're going to see this again. So you got to figure out how to get. All right, let's get to the point. I am going to do my best to share my screen. If it doesn't work, I'll wing it. We are sharing. Oh, let's see what's on the screen that I'm going to actually share. Okay. Deny. I do not want to. There we go. All right. Joe, you're going to be my eyes. Does that look like a slide to you? Okay.
We are up and running.
All right. If you're going to have a chance in this market going forward, you have to not just be okay. That used to, like, fog in a mirror would do it in 2021 and 22. It's not going to do it anymore. You're going to need to be amazing.
That's right.
And it's hard, guys. It's freaking hard. It's really a ton of work. I skipped over.
It's hard, and that's why we say quit or get in, because if you're not willing to put the hard work in, don't try to skate. It's not going to work.
There'll be no skating. So, Joe, your introduction was very kind, and it's all true. I am amazing. I am confident. I'm an authority in what I do. I do my work, everything from a place of service, which is so overused. We're going to talk about that in a sec. I have balance in my life, and I can deadlift my enemies. So I'm the whole package, and that's why I am going to do great in this market. But the cool thing about it, I am no different from any of you. I'm not special. Everything I do, you can do. So I assume everybody who's watching this has a business plan. And if you don't, there's no shame in that. We're not going to business plan shame people on this show. If you don't have it, what's so magic about January 1st? May 1st is a wonderful day to launch your business plan. Get a business plan, even if it's very basic. I have one that I call the Wham Bam Business Plan. If you're curious, reach out.
How many people had a business plan last January 1st and had to switch it up by the middle of the year, right?
I've already switched mine. I went through the first quarter. I was like, no, none of that is the stuff that's going to work for what I want to do. So what we're going to be talking about is a plan for yourself. And at the end of this, I'm going to give you a cheat sheet. So you don't need to remember it all. You can go, and if you're having a day where you're like, damn, I forget what she said about what to do when you feel like you're burning out. What do? I'll cheat sheet, boop, 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 punch it up, and you can see exactly what to do. All right. So usually when I'm in a crowd, we'll talk about these are the 10 saboteurs that I talk about, and I'll have you put your hands up. What I want you to just do this time is just get like a Post-it and just mark, see how many marks you get. So imposter syndrome.
I don't have imposter syndrome. Got it.
Okay. Self-doubt. Perfectionism.
Thanks.
They're like, nah. Illness or injury.
Been there.
See, and nobody talks about it.
No,
Loneliness.
Yeah. Sometimes I'd like to be more lonely than I am.
Burnout.
Been there.
Complacency, where you're like, this is good enough.
No. That one's staying up.
Apathy is where it's not like you don't care, but you've just sort of lost your spark. You're like, yeah, I sell houses.
Yeah, I'll do that once in a while.
Yeah. Overwhelm.
Yeah.
And failure.
But that's not always bad.
No, it's not.
Right.
We're gonna get to that. And failure, which also is not always bad.
That's right. Been there.
So I did the fingers thing, but people at home, if you're doing you're keeping tick marks, I'd love to know in the chat, even if, is this going to be a recording too, Joe?
It is, yes.
Okay. I want to see the numbers. The last time, so actually just 2 hours ago, I just did this in a webinar, and most people were 6 to 10. We had one who was a 4, and we were like, go hang out with her. She's figured something out. Now, I don't mean that you're suffering from all of these all at the same time, but these are the things that will get you the worst and sabotage you and keep you from getting what you want. And the opposite of these, if you could get these all in their light state instead of their shadow state, which they are now, you'd be amazing. So let's get there.
Let's get there. And these all
I already told you I'm amazing.
If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, all of these are going to ebb and flow through your life at some point.
Yep.
Yeah.
So these pictures, I have an incredible family. I have a great business partner. I'm in great shape. I was freaking Realtor of the Year last year, as was Joe one year. I've actually got all sorts of great things going on. My life is good, and yours can be good too. But just like Joe said, it's a flow. It's a flow. It's not like I have arrived and I'm there. It's just sort of a feeling like I'm pretty amazing. When someone calls you and asks you, how are you? My answer is amazing. Even if it's like, well, it's not my best day, but I am generally amazing. We're talking about the macro. Listen, everybody has micro stuff that gets you. But if your macro is amazing, you're going to be good. It's also a dynamic. It comes and it goes. We've already talked about the fact that it's hard work, and it is 100% possible for anybody. So we're going to hammer each one of these. We're going to go to each one of them, and then we're going to go to what's the other side of that saboteur? What is the defense for it? What will cure you? So self-doubt, the cure is confidence, which seems kind of obvious. Okay, Katie, I'm confident. Like, how do you get confident? How do you just be confident? It's great advice, but it's so hard to make happen, except for you, because this is what you're going to do. The key to confidence is taking risks. Not necessarily succeeding in them, but taking them. It's really more about surviving risks, I guess is the way I would say it. So when I was having a hard time in real estate. I said, oh, you know what? And I had no money. And I said, I'm going to hire a coach. Remember the no money part though. So I had $500 left in my account. And this coaching program was $500 a month. And you had to commit for a whole year, which if you do the math is $6,000. I did not have that, but I had the first month. So I'm like, I don't know. Let's do it. I wrote that check or whatever, pressed that button and was like, oh my God, what have I done? Do you think I paid attention to those coaching sessions? Do you think I did every single thing that guy said? Yes, because I was risking my last dollar. In fact, I got to the next month and crazy, deals had not fallen out of the sky yet at that point. And I actually didn't have the money for the next month. So I had to borrow it. And so I did. But fast forward, by the end of the year, I had closed more in the fourth quarter than I had in the previous 3 put together. So
Nice.
because I was alert and I was like, well, damn, if you can take that chance, you can kind of do anything. So I was a little bit bolder in the things that I did. And by the way, my coach wasn't telling me to go out and door knock or even phone call because I told him I didn't want to do those things. He had me, I spent the most time from him. Every morning I had to fill a notebook page with affirmations and gratitudes. And I'm like, what is this going to do to put food on my table? But I was like, I don't know, going to take some more chances. And by the way, every single affirmation, which I called my lies page because none of it was true, they all came true.
Nice.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. All right, so for confidence, you need to take risks. You know, if you're having self-doubt, you just need to take a chance. If you're not sure about something, and usually you're feeling self-doubt about something you're about to do the damn thing. Just freaking do it. If it doesn't go well, it really is actually okay. You'll recover from it, but the act of summoning that courage will build your confidence. Okay, perfectionism. I actually didn't think I was a perfectionist, but it turns out I am.
I'm laughing.
And what's that?
I'm laughing.
Okay.
You didn't ask me.
I know. Perfectionism will keep you from getting stuff out the door. This shows up a lot with marketing, social media pieces. You're trying to get something at the door. It's just not right. It's just not right. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And then all of a sudden it's, February 15th and you're still not done with your January newsletter and it never goes out. So one of my favorite sayings is done is better than perfect. Get it out the door. Just get it out the door. If you follow me on social at the Katie Clancy, you will see a lot of imperfect posts. You will see a lot of things where you're like, ooh, feels like they should have done one more take on that. And you would be right. I should have done one more take, but I didn't have time. I needed to get that stuff out. And frankly, the content is great. Were my words super clear all the time? No, sir, they were not. Was the lighting always perfect? No. But the content got out and I'm doing great. Here is an exercise that you can do. And I'm going to go kind of fast on this because I know we don't have a ton of time. Go through every task that has to do with real estate and put a red light, a green light next to every task that you're good at, you like, and you're efficient at. You have to have all 3. And then on the other things, anything that you're not good at or you're not efficient at or you don't like, put a red dot, a red light next to it. From those red dots, you are going to build your first hire. Yes, hire. You're going to pay someone. Yes, you are going to take some of that commission and you're going to tear it out of your hand and you're going to give it to someone else, because when you do that, you will get more stuff out the door. And if you can get more stuff out the door, more money will come in. You can't be worried and be greedy, too greedy to delegate. If you don't delegate, you're going to be stuck in perfectionism for a long time. All right, let's go to the next one.
And actually, let's back up for real quick on that. As far as hiring somebody, you don't need to have their entire year's salary in the bank. 90 days is probably a smart number to have.
Or if you're like, I don't even have that, pay them when you get paid.
Work out some kind of commission-based scenario. True.
Pay when you get paid. Pay when you have money. All right, imposter syndrome. I mean, when I first started doing these doing talks and webinars and stuff like this, I was like, why are they calling me? Like, I have fooled them all. This is crazy. And I know we've all felt that going up for a listing appointment for the biggest listing you've ever had. That appointment, you were definitely feeling like, this is a little out of my comfort zone. I don't know why they're calling me. Why am I in this seat? And I have a cure for that. So the opposite of imposter syndrome is obviously authority. You don't feel like you're an authority to be talking the way you are about the things you're talking about. So the 3 R's are the cure to that. 1, because it's your amygdala, it's your primitive brain that is messing with you there and trying to protect you. And it can be fooled is a bad word, but it can be manipulated. So the first R is your resume. Go to your resume. What have you done? If we're talking about a big listing, well, what's your big S listing? Is it really that much of a difference between your biggest listing, between the one you're about to get? If you look closely, you'll see there's lots of similarities. A house is a house, a human is a human. You're dealing with houses and humans every day. You know how to do this. So your resume will tell you some facts that will point you towards authority. Your recommendations, one of the things you worry about with imposter syndrome is they're all going to know that I'm a fraud, I'm a fake, I don't belong here. Really? Not these people. These people all think you're the cat's pajamas. So maybe you actually do belong here. And finally, the third R is your reasons. Go to your reasons. Why do you do this work? We all are doing our work. We're all in careers, most of us, to at least make a living, right? We're all, obviously, there's no shame in making money, but you could make money doing a lot of things. You could kill it. Most bartenders I know make more money than most real estate agents I know. So it's not just about the money. What is it? What are your reasons for doing what you do? That will put you back in authority, make you feel much more comfortable about being in that seat. Overwhelm. So I have a survey that I put out sometimes to find out, like, where are you in this? Like, which thing really gets you the most? And overwhelm seems to be the thing that gets people the most. So we're going to spend a little bit of time here. And the cure for it is order. So order shows up in many different ways, and so does overwhelm, actually. But in order to conquer it, you've got to impose order, sometimes urgently, on your situation. So here's a scenario that we've all faced. You're sitting at your desk, you've got a to-do list a mile long, you don't even know where to start, your phone is going off, texts and calls are coming, you have to go to the bathroom, you haven't eaten, you've got home deadlines, all the crazy stuff going on, and you're just sitting there like getting nothing done. You're truly overwhelmed. When you can't control anything else, you can control your breath. And your breath will give your body an actual signal to calm the F down. Because when you're paralyzed, you're not doing anything. You need to get back into your body and calm down. So breathing, even if it's just one breath, if you have 5 minutes to meditate, then take it. But if you can only do one nice big breath, take that. The next thing you can do, if you've got a little bit more in you than one breath, is you look at your surroundings. So I look at my desk and I go, this place is madness. No wonder I'm feeling overwhelmed. I will take my work bag and I will turn it upside down. Whoa, not right now, for real. And dump it out. And then I will put it back together. And I will throw out the string cheese wrappers, the crumpled Post-it notes. I will file the business card that I collected in there. I found $100 bill in there the other day. I forgot that I had hidden on my, So clean out something that you can touch nearby. Maybe it's one drawer in your desk. If you work at home, a good thing to do actually is to get up, go into your kitchen and clean your sink. Sounds weird, I know, but your sink is it's the center of your home, and it's the same thing. You go back to that sink later, you are going to thank yesterday you for doing that. So grab something and control it. On a larger, what happens to most of us in overwhelm, it's because we've said yes too many times.
Mm-hmm. No,
to too many people.
Yeah.
Well, but we feel bad saying no. What happens if you've got a full schedule, full calendar, you couldn't do one more thing, and then you get a call and someone invites you to be part of something that you really do want to do, like you're kind of into it? What do you do? Well, I'm going to modify the no thing. The no is, you don't just say no right off the bat. You say, I'm going to give you, you answer the call. You say, I'm going to give you a tentative no. I will get back to you on Friday or whatever day. And then you go look at your schedule, like, I really want to do this. Something's got to give. So you pick something that you are going to drop. You have to drop something to make room for the things that really feed you. So you look at the things that you're doing. Which of these things gives me the most or feels the best to do, and rank them. And then you go to the bottom one and cut that sucker off. That's it. It's got to go. Something's got to go. And that's a way you can control your time and your schedule, sort of manage the quality of the things that you're doing with your time. There's a whole other talk that I do on managing your time, because I do not naturally do that. So I had to learn how to really do well with my time, because now that I do know what to do with my time, my natural creative, quote, messy self gets channeled really well, and I can be the best of myself with a little bit of order. So you're not wrong for being, quote, disordered. You just need to channel that energy in the right way, and you can really be amazing. Loneliness. When I talk about loneliness, so when we are in this business, we are solo practitioners. We are doing this, probably sitting next to someone who's doing the exact same thing, but they probably are also doing it in the exact same market area that you're doing it. So it's not going to be, you're not going to talk to that guy, even if they're a good office friend or whatever. You're not as comfortable to be like, hey, I want to workshop. I got a new idea I'm thinking about doing in this neighborhood. I just want to see what you thought about it. You can't really talk to them. So you have to sit there and be like, I don't know, is this a good idea? I guess so. What I do, so the company that I am has a footprint that goes along almost the whole East Coast. We do skip a couple states for now. And so I created a mastermind group with all people from all over that footprint that are about the same level or a little higher than where I'm at. And we meet once a month. And like I said, workshop new ideas. We have a whole session called the Struggle Bus. So you can just come there and just spill your guts and be like, I lost a listing. My buyers can't find anything. I hate what I'm doing. I'm running out of money. I don't know if I'm going to make this year. Like, to be really raw and honest with people. So getting a mastermind is a great way to cure yourself of the loneliness that comes with being an independent contractor. On that, actually, this is not related, but there's some connections here. After you've been in the business for a long time and you start to work your way up to a leadership position, you can sometimes feel a little out of touch with people and just be like, what's the big deal? It's an oil tank. Either you're going to do this or you're going to do that. Like, it can be figured out. This is not a life or death situation. Everybody should just calm down. Well, nobody who's selling or buying a house, possibly for the only time in their life, wants to be told to calm down. They are in a high, very keyed up state. There is a lot at stake for them. And if you are too detached from that, you just lose touch, and you don't take it seriously enough. The cure for apathy is to get down in the trenches on a regular basis. Now, I'm not in my open houses. I'm not doing a lot of that stuff, while the house is on the market. But every once in a while I do. I'm going to go visit the open house. I'm going to see what is actually going on. So I have some connection, but also it gets me fired up for like, oh, that's why she wanted more swag at the open house. They're really mobbed. This is great. And it just fires you back up again, gets your spark going, and then, go back to leading, because leading is an incredibly important piece of the business. Complacency is like the cousin of apathy. Complacency isn't that you don't care. It's just that you've worked really hard. You have achieved a goal and you're like, I have arrived. This is awesome. cool. And you just kind of keep cruising, and you can't. Even if you don't want to do any more volume, cruising is a bad strategy, because if you keep cruising, the market is going to go on without you. There are things changing every day in our market. This fall, our industry stands to change drastically. You need to have your finger on the pulse of what's going on in your industry, in your market, and in your neighborhoods. That's what growth is. And what does that mean? How do you do that? You go listen to webinars and things like this. You go to conferences, you read books, you put good podcasts in your head so that you're always getting better. And of course, if you want to get to the next level, what you did to get here ain't going to get you here. So now you got to do a whole new group of activities and things to get there. Moving on to failure. Nobody loves this one. It is so uncomfortable. So I also have a media company on the side, and we do video work for social for local businesses. And a couple weeks ago, we got fired, like summarily canned by one of our favorite clients. It was a heartbreaker. And I tell you what, one of the things we love about them is they're like super blunt. We're like, yeah, we love your style. Until it's pointed at you. Oh shit! And he wasn't being mean. He was just like, I don't have time to dance around this. You did this, you did this, you did this. You failed in this way. We were disappointed here, and for those reasons, we're parting ways. And we were like, got it, thank you. And we got off the call, and we were sitting there stunned for a few minutes, like, damn, that was pretty harsh. But let's look at our notes. What's going on? And one of my partners was like, well, I mean, he's expecting us to blah, 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 blah. I mean, that's not even part of what we do. I'm like, how did he have that expectation, though? Whose fault is that he had that expectation? Ours. We assumed that they had this expectation, but it was this. Now we know. We have to be crystal clear about what this part of our work is. And then the other things, he was like, I mean, he got me everything from, unmet expectations to sloppy billing, because I was doing it because I hadn't delegated the QuickBooks part out. I was stink at it. I was so clumsy. I didn't know how to do recurring billing. They were going late. He was like, you're too much work for us. I was like, you know what? We sure are. So, but do you think I do the QuickBooks anymore? No, sir. No, sir, I do not. We took
Who assigned you that job?
What's that?
Who assigned you that job?
Oh, me. I know. So anyway, we are so much better than we were the day before that terrible failure. All of our other clients are benefiting. We are already have raised the bar with them. And I'm looking at the clock. I'm so sorry. Let's keep going here. Burnout to balance. Burnout, we usually talk about the balance between home and work. That's total crap. There's no such thing as balance between home and work, my opinion. What you need is a third place. What is your third place? Where do you go that nobody needs you for anything at all? It's just all about you. For me, it's the gym. For some people, it's the woods. Some people, it's just their dog, just hanging out with their dog. Some people, it's church or the beach. You need to know what your third place is, and do not compromise on it. Spend time in your third place, fill your cup, then you've got enough to give to your home and your work, and you will avoid burnout because you will be healthy on the inside. And finally, illness and injury. You don't think about that as being a problem for success, but try paralyzing your right foot and see how you can get around showing property.
Right.
That's what happened to me. I let a back injury go so long that I almost severed my sciatic nerve. My foot goes like this. It does not flex. I wear a brace. I can lift it a little bit. And if you see me walk, you're like, what's wrong with you? And I tell you to shut up because I don't want to talk about it. But that's what I did. I let it go too far, and I now have a permanent injury. Don't do that. I know people I go to show properties with, they can't get out of the car because their diabetes got so bad, their feet hurt. Like, come on, people. Life is short. Your health doesn't matter until it isn't there, and then it's the only thing that matters. Take care of yourself. Drink your water. Eat your veggies. do some exercise. Right, and wrapping it up here. This is the book. This will be out by the end of the year because I said so.
There you go.
People, Purpose, and Profit in a Post-Pandemic World. Humanity Now. This is like this is just a whole new business strategy that it's not whole new. It's been being used for years and years, but it was accelerated during the pandemic. People recognized that treating other people like human beings, there was actually money in it. And I go through this book and tell you how to implement that stuff. And the result is it ends up being like the difference between using fossil fuels and solar energy. It's literally a renewable resource. You don't spend yourself, you renew yourself, and you're building a big business while you're at it. And I promised I would give you a cheat sheet. Here it is. Scan that little code and you will get the amazing cheat sheet. Actually, I have 2 questions I ask you before the cheat sheet shows up. I want to know how you're doing. And you can follow me at the Katie Clancy. That's Instagram. You can Google me. Our business is the Cape House, so you can check us out there too. I can answer questions. What do you need from me now, Joe?
Well, I think one of the things that people may not know when you first started, because you just jumped into your successes and how well you're doing now, and I know, and a lot of people know your story because you've gone around the country talking about it, and this didn't come easily. This was not.
No.
You did refer to that. The struggle
Yeah.
was real. Struggle.
Yeah. I started the business with no money in the middle of the Great Recession and almost lost my house. I lost a baby. And that made me almost lose my mind. And I'm glossing over it right now, but I mean, anybody who's a parent out there can empathize with sucked. My life really sucked for a while there. And I did decide to not be defined by what the world did to me, because it did a lot of crappy stuff. I decided I would be defined by what I did in the world. And that has made it so much fun to be in the world, and just having an impact is the most fun. It's just great. And it's really a great business strategy. It's just, gosh, I hope you believe me. Whoever's watching this takes what I'm saying and implements it. It is the answer. You will have such a better time.
Now, if people were in West Dennis or Dennis, they would understand what you've done for the community as well, because you're doing quite a bit. You're out there. You do a lot of fun things that help your business, but also more importantly help the community, and that's a big part of business in UI as well.
It is, and actually, that Humanity Now book, there's a whole piece in there about civic marketing, about that. And if anybody, you may have you seen the guy online? He's in like Wichita, Kansas, and he goes out and mows and like edges people's yards for free.
Yeah.
SB mowing. That guy is killing it. He just films himself going around doing these lawns for free. His business is booming and he's having a blast. He makes people's day every day. And if you go out and do that, it's good for your business too.
Absolutely. Katie, thanks so much for coming on. It's always a pleasure. It was full of
Thank you, Joe.
Great fun stuff. And look forward to reading the book and seeing you soon.
Thanks, Joe. Really good to see you.
All right. Take care.